Hello, welcome Vikrant. Welcome Vikrant. Welcome, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So thank you for being here. So nice to meet you finally.
Absolutely, all my pleasure.
Okay, now let's the people joining the call.
I guess I have to be a co-host to share my window.
No, let's try to do that, even though. Let me know if you can. Okay.
Yeah, I can. Thank you.
Super. You're welcome. So stay like this. It's okay, and we can also go live stream now in a few. So let's wait 1 minute, and we can go live stream. So just one confirmation. Can you briefly remind me your organization and affiliation eventually?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Vikrant Srivastava. I am from Delhi. I am an SDG advocate. I work in the field of climate change advocacy and also resilient. I am ex-youth delegate of Mock COP representing India. I'm also a writer and individual researcher. I have masters in environmental. I have been working with some of the environmental issues right now going in Asia and India. I provide research work for Fridays for Future and Let Me Breathe .in.
Okay, perfect. Okay, now I'm set up in the live stream, and we can start.
Do let me know when it starts.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's start.
Okay.
So welcome to all. I just introduce you. Here we are with Vikrant Srivastava from Heli, and the topic of the talk is REDD Plus and the role of network to combat desertification. So Vikrant, the floor is yours.
Hi everyone. I'm from a different country, so I cannot greet you with the time zone. So apologies for that. So here we are going to start with a REDD plus. I cannot cover this in this very short session, but I will definitely try to convey the whole performer of this and also how we can combat the desertification, one of the biggest impact climate change will affect. So let's start with the REDD plus. So REDD plus actually was formed like a platform given by UNFFCC. It helps the country to value the carbon and ecosystem service they for which provide by the forest and the ecosystem within the forest and the all biodiversity. Then it's create a financial initiative to reduce deforestation when forests are converted and used for agriculture and other industrial agricultural process or been cut down. They ultimately release CO2, which goes in the global and contribute in global warming. So the world came up with this idea to calculate these assets into a form of a financial setup so that countries who focus on conserving their forest land and make it as a sustainable management for forest and enhance of carbon stock. So basically, it is a framework to avoid deforestation and forest degradation in restoring forest and to progress economic and human well-being that are dependent on healthy forest ecosystem which provide shelter, food, jobs, medicine, what else you can name. It is being directly or indirectly provided by forest. So it has basically five activities, which is the whole scope of the RED, and it actually also very fluctuate kind of programs. So we can include many more in between these five aims, which have to be looked when we are talking about the RED plus. So first is the reduction of emission from deforestation. So deforestation means the forest degradation, and restoring the forest could be brings significant benefit for livelihood, climate, which provide shelter, food, again, water, and climate regulation and energy to more than 1 billion people. And we can do easily it, but you know what the present status is. So it is basically formed to reduce the rate of the forest loss due to industrial agriculture. Next is the reduction of emission from forest degradation. So degradation is the human inducted loss of carbon stock within the forest land that remains in forest land. So whatever it lost in the forest, deforestation or the other industrial agriculture or the palm oil, we are already seeing in countries like Africa and Indonesia, and now it also being going to be implemented in India too. So the reduce the rate or the intensity of forest degradation due to unsustainable log or fire is the basic aim of this second one. Conservation of forest stock. So it refers to any effort to conserve forest, strengthen or expand the protected area, networking establish long-term commitment to the forest conservation by signing conditional payment agreement with stakeholder so that they keep this in mind that forest is for everyone. It is by the nature, not by the people. So it is for the everyone, and everyone should be efforting to conserve it. Then it's sustainable management of forest. Like it's the name itself says that it refers to bringing the rate of extraction in the line with the rate of natural growth or increment to the ensure net zero emission over time. It's also a global goal to achieve net zero emission, and we must also contribute individually to it. And we can increase the area of forest land under the sustainable management to make it more happen. Then this last one comes the enhancement of forest carbon stock. It basically referred to the non-forest land becoming forest land, to like changing the degraded land into afforestation or reforestation, something that like that. Also to increase the carbon stock in the forest land, remaining forest land, increasing under restoration or afforestation again. So allow the degraded forest to regenerate, to like giving the birth to the degraded land, restoring, all about restoring the forest we have lost. So these are the five basic principle of read before and after applying. We have to consider these 5 steps. Then it's come to a plan how we will implement it on a national level. First, it is implemented in national level. So we have to work with this 4 implemented process before implementing the RED plan. The first you can see is the national strategy plant. We all have our individual countries plant, which we name as NDC, National Declaration Plant, which are declared under the Paris Agreement Act. We also having the 5 years of Paris Agreement on this 12th. So let's see what countries are going to put on effort after the 5 year. So here basically how emission will be reduced or how carbon stock will be enhanced, conserved, or sustainably managed through the implementation. All these are talked about this national strategy plan or action plan, how they will implement. Then we have a national forest monitoring system. It is a system for recording and monitoring how land is used in a country, and to develop data which shows the level of greenhouse gas. Basically, we are trying to limit the greenhouse uh, first. Then there is another goal for activities. The aim of NFSM is to access the performance of NDD plus absolutely the basic 5 we have talked about earlier, the NDD plus. So National Forest Monitoring try to calculate all the 5 principles which are have to be implemented. And then it's forest reference level. So forest reference level is the benchmark, actually, I will say, to assessing the performance of each country in implementing RED plus activities, the adaptation. It's a benchmark for both that reduction emission and activities that increase the removal. It also goes to a technical assessment. I will not go into that. So after that, it comes to a safeguard. Safeguard usually refer to the process and the policy designed to mitigate risk and to ensure that RED plus policies and measures do not harm to people or to environment, but also do good and enhance social and environmental benefit, strengthen livelihood, and improve access to natural resources. So these are the 4 framework whenever any country have to establish the RED plus. So this is the 4 framework which they have to work on. And then this is the final we have of implementing RED in the national and then going through the international process of where they receive the payment of their efforts or the conservation. It goes to the 3 phases. Phase 1 is the readiness, and phase 2 is the implementation, and phase 3 is the payment of result. Readiness is related to the efforts of country in undertaking with the support of multilateral or bilateral support to build its capacity to read for RED plus mechanism. And then comes to implementing. Implementing has 3 shorter type of phrases, developing REDD strategy to support the grant, the fund which being distributed by the national and the international forum like World Bank and UN. And then third is continue the implementation of REDD strategy in context of low carbon development and payment for verified emission reduction. So the process of these three are the basic overall in implementing the REDD plus. I will actually say that REDD plus is a mechanism that helps society move the unsustainable current development pathway while also reducing the pressure of planetary boundaries. It represents an opportunity to contribute to a transition to a green economy and alleviate national development choice. It is a critical part of green economy. But I will also remind you that whatever we have thought of this REDD plus, and in today's forum, I will not say that it is a failed, but what we have thought, it is not going in a same way. Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear us? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Vikrant. Okay. Now let's start the discussion. Did you finish the presentation? Do you want to add something else a little bit for the end, or? Vikrant? Okay, maybe let's start the discussion. First of all, thank you very much for Vikrant for the valuable contribution. I don't know if you have some problem of connection or you are there. Okay. If you have question for Vikrant,
Are we facing some issue? Are we having some?
No. I was wondering if you can hear you, if you can hear us. And let's start the discussion now. And thank you very much for your presentation, Vikrant, because it got properly also the technical points of REDD plus, and also some analysis on that. That's very important also for our purpose. So if you have some question for Vikrant, so please take the chance to use the chat or eventually open the mic in order to ask your question. Go ahead. I saw you.
Okay, thank you very much. And can I give you a question?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Henry Surya, and I'm from Indonesia. And I would and thank you very much for Mr. Vikrant Srivastava as you have explained and also have delivered the great insights about the REDD plus. So one of my question to Mr. Vikrant is what is the real what is the main indicators and also the main considerations of your goals? I mean, in your opinion, what is the opinions? What is the indicators and also the points which is considered and also needed for reaching the UN REDD plus, and also what things the actionable actions which can we do for making online actions for socializing about UN REDD plus. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Henry, it's a great question. First of all, thank you for asking. Also, so REDD plus is basically, like we have seen in the presentation, the 5 principles. In one word, if we can say that it's a sustainable forest management. And the next question is how we can implement in nation, I will talk about nation because every nation has to give up what their plan or the action is all about. So including forest as a asset first while developing, making a plan for their developing. So we have to consider forest as a asset. We have to consider the individual and the indigenous community first, because they have the right and they have done their best to protect it. And I see that the role of protecting forest, soil, or anything which substitutes these functions by any technique, the the human, we are not master, but we should keep on applying and testing our efforts to conserving. Uh, because forest and freestand trees need to be protected in order to prevent the furthermore effect of climate change. The country from which I came is facing more than a climate change right now, and climate change has peddled the issues what we have facing before: the malnutrition, poverty, desertification, low access to rain, and other issues. So before setting up the national plan, we have to consider forest as an asset. We have to think that we can revive the economy, because we have made the economy, but we cannot revive the whole nature because we are not the creator of it. So we have to think it.
Sorry, Vikrant, we missed for the last part, but there is a question, another question. Our calculated the amount of credits transferred by REDD Plus to owners for not cutting down the forest. Are these credits high enough to be really attractive?
Wait, let me read. So basically, the whole REDD Plus is providing the financial asset in cash or any other form. The carbon set form, and it is calculated in the carbon stock, and then carbon stock is being uh, sold to the developed nation and the newly developed countries and industries to decrease their past of the deforestation what they have done, and increase this in developing country, how they can work with the philosophy of one world, you can say. And these credits are not, I can say that, high enough. It is kind of a motivational, how people can work together and how we can motivate the developing country, because the main problem is faced by the developing country, and these REDD Plus is being implemented in the developing country, and developed nation pay the amount in any form or any project or anything, not we can say in the cash only, but also in other form of credit, the project, the solar on any green economy.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I have a question also. And also, I also invite the other participant to maybe make some other question. We have some time still to engage some discussion also. But my question is, do you think that the REDD plus are not so well known, and so this is also a problem for implementation. And maybe if they can reach also sub-national level, they could implement like country cooperation. So in my opinion, the REDD plus are very like technical, and sometimes only the expert know a little bit this mechanism. But indeed, if they were more at the bottom level, they could increase the cooperation between countries and between, I don't know, organizations that are from different countries and so on.
Yeah, it is a technical thing, but also it's true that it is not as successful as the whole concept was brought in Bali agreement. And from that to till now, I have calculating how the REDD plus is going. First the REDD come, then the REDD plus is being implemented, and then again they are thinking about something new to create. But what I personally think that the basic concept should be what we have and what we can deliver to the every last person on this earth, and how it can change their life or how it can increase their social status. The nation plays a very important role in it, and we are seeing that while setting up this, because it is a conditional thing, it is not a like something you have to do it like a Paris Agreement. We're also seeing that some of the countries who signed or ratified, they are going out of the Paris Agreement. So REDD Plus is also not a fully like a devoted thing. When country prepare their national plan, they do not focus what they really have to. They focus on how they are getting the funds they are getting in any form, and it is also not being looked up how these funds which they have given in form of forest or other thing, how these funds are converted. If any firm is giving the fund and that it is not implemented in again the green economy, what the whole concept of REDD plus will be. And I was going to some of the nations I have seen. I will not like explain it, it will take a very long thing, but countries are not planning it in a sub-countryal way or sub-national ways, or you can say the areas of where it really needs to be implemented. So it is a very interesting thing to be read about, to be learned and to be implemented. But I personally not seeing how this whole framework is being implemented in nation. In my nation too, it is not implemented in a way which it has to be implemented. All the 5 principles are not being looked up.
Okay, thank you very much for your answer. And now let's give a last round of questions. Take the chance to make your question and eventually ask to Vikrant something that you want to know and so on, because I think that we have a great chance, and I will really thank Vikrant for being here. Thank you for your presentation, that has been very valuable. So if there are questions. Okay, if there aren't, I will let you, Vikrant, to make one last comments for closing the session, some messages or some thoughts that you want to share at least. And then I will also invite you to the plenary. We will have the plenary in an hour. And so if you want to join and also engage in the next meeting of the Climate Social Forum, you are very welcome. And thank you very much for the interest. And it's been a pleasure to know you. But the floor is yours for the next and for the last, comment.
Thank you. So I will say that, like I have said it before, that we have created the economy. And last week, I have this honor to interact with the head of UNDP. I had a very good discussion with him, and I shared this my inner thought that how we can change the economy which support the large person standing on this earth. So he told me that you should consider the planet before the people. So basically, this is the main formula. We are not the creator of this planet. We are the part of the chain. We are not the creator of the chain. We have created the economy. Yes, it is right. And we can revive it in a form we want. And this form should be better for all. And this all doesn't mean for the human being only. This all means for everyone. And the nature is in itself keeps on healing. But we have to allow it. We have to give it a chance or a space to heal it. So individually, we should work for it. Not if you are connected to any organization or any community, you should work individually in your daily life, in your full effort, because you have a future and you have a family who has a right to have a future. So work for all. We have this saying in India, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, which means that one world is a family. We are divided by the nation, by the line, by the boundary, by the color, but we are like a family. Was something happens in India, it will be affecting in China, or what happens in Europe, it will affect in India or in Africa. So we have to work with this philosophy of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, which means one world is a family. So thank you for allowing me to speak. It was an honor to be part of this forum.
Thank you to you. Really, I kindly invite you to stay with us because, yes, our motto is we are on the same boat. And also, I will share it in Italian. Siamo tutti sulla stessa barca, as well as you shared in Indian. And thank you very much. And I will invite you to stay with us and to follow us also the next days. And of course, thank you very much for your valuable speech. We learn a lot, and also thank you again. So I will close the session now. And this was the last session of the day. And now there will be the plenary on in an hour. So you are all kindly invited to join the plenary. Thank you very much again, Vikrant.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Vikrant. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, everyone.
Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.
Oui, merci beaucoup pour attendre cette conférence.